Hi guys, Rollback1 here, coming at you with, possibly one of the most degenerate decks that I've ever made. Definitely not on the level of, like, Mystic Mindburn and stuff like that, but, today we're going to be looking at, my 60 card Pendulum deck profile. Now, this is all sorts of different Pendulum engines in it. I've made a 60 card list that I feel is, like, can do so many degenerate things and just so easily thanks to dual overload and stuff out of that set. And even though we've lost Electromite, the deck is still actually really insane. And I thought I keep coming on and off of this deck as well because I keep testing it in the background, thinking, oh, I'll keep playing it because I really enjoy it. And I feel like I've come up with something that is just absolutely degenerate and just absolutely stupid. Not on the level, of course, of like Mystic Mindburn and stuff like that. Well, I guess it can be on that level, but depending on the boards you end on. But this deck I have been messing with, I have been tinkering with, and I feel like I've got a list that I want to show you guys. So we're going to be looking up my thick 60 card Pendulum deck today. So yeah, let's actually get into it. So starting off, we have so many different Pendulum engines in this deck. So we're going to start with the Endymion engine. We play triple Endymion Mighty Master of Magic because he says, oh, I can remove 6. Well, there's two reasons. One, this is an insane going second card, and also this is an insane going first card. Its Pendulum effect lets you go second, which lets you just remove 6 spell counters from anywhere on the board, special summon it onto the board, and then destroy cards you're on the board up to the number of cards you can place spell counters on. So this card can just literally say, oh, I'm going to nuke your board. And also, if you're going first, then he's just a spell and trap negate, and if he does die with a spell counter, then he searches any spell card in your deck. So really strong card, and you have to be playing 3 of this because it's just a really strong going first card and a really strong going second card. So he's absolutely insane. One reflection of Endymion. I was testing this at 2, and honestly, there is so little room in some areas of this deck that I kind of just chose to play 1, and I feel like 1 is the right choice. Like, I mainly only ever used this card when I've either searched it or when I've drawn it. It's nice having an effect that says I can compulse something, but that you're not always going to be able to resolve that effect in this deck, so I felt like 1 was enough. And also, it being a level 7 low scale can come up as well. It's a light spellcaster, and it has a nice effect that lets you special summon it from the Pendulum Zone. And if you do, you can still get that compulse effect. I feel like it's only needed at 1 though, so that's why I'm kind of playing 1. We're also playing 1 Magister of Endymion because he's a high scale, he's a level 3, that's pretty much the main reason. But he can be kind of decent at times when you can remove 3 spell counters on the board, especially when anything from your deck that you can place a spell counter on, and also during your opponent's turn. And also his Pendulum effect, where you can remove 3 spell counters, special summon him itself, and a monster from the extra deck that can be placed spell counters on. So he can come up in various situations, but I feel like he's only a 1 of as well. Like, you don't really need multiples of the Endymions, except for maybe this one, which I wish was up 3, Servant of Endymion. You have to play this. This card's just absolutely insane. Being able to remove 3 spell counters, especially summon any Pendulum monster from your deck, is just absolutely nuts. Her monster effect doesn't really come up unless it's like time on the round. You've entered the battle phase, attack for 900 damage, and you win through that. But you use her for a Pendulum effect to special summon any Pendulum monster from your deck that can play spell counters on. So yeah, that's the Endymion stuff. I'm running, like, we're also running the spells, but I'm doing spells separately. Those are all the Endymion monsters we play though, so you don't really need to be playing much of the Endymions. For Mythical Beasts though, we're playing quite a big package. We're playing triple Master Cerberus because he says search any Mythical Beast from your deck. He's also very good because this card being able to search Jackal King and then special summoning it into extra monster zone is actually really important because it allows us to go into our spellbook engine a lot easier, which is something the deck really does need quite a bit to go into the spellbook engine to gain more draws, gain more spell counters, and along with that. And also just being able to gain spell counters overall can be very strong in general. So you need to be playing 3 of him because he's like the consistency of the Mythical Beast engine at the same time. Also, him having the effect that just says, oh, I can remove 4 spell counters from him, target monster on the board, banish it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like, I use that effect consistently as well, so it is a very useful effect. We're also playing 2 Jackal King because you don't need to be playing multiple Jackal Kings. You don't really need to be playing multiple Jackal Kings. Jackal King is more of a 2 of because you search it off the king, the myth, the Master Cerberus, and then you just special summon the Master Cerberus, so it's in the extra deck, so 2 is more than enough in this deck. But you need to be playing at least 2, so you can, if you do draw 1, then you can still special summon 1 off of 7 of Endymion whenever you use her effect, so 2 is enough. We're also playing 1 Basilisk and 1 Garuda. Basilisk is just because when we, if we've opened the Jackal King, and we've also opened a Master Cerberus, then we can just search the Basilisk and get a free draw, while still having the ability to special summon a spellcaster from my extra deck, because Mythical Beast Basilisk stays in the extra deck, and Garuda is just an MST, so having MST for like Mystic Mine and any back row deck, there can only be 1, stuff like that, is very strong, so you need to be playing at least 1 of this as well. That's the Mythical Beast engine. The Mythical Beast engine, we're playing quite a few monsters in that as well. The engines overall are very big, so you need to be, like, we're playing tons of different engines in this deck, so like that's why the deck has just got so many different routes. We're also playing a Magician engine, so we're playing triple harmonizing Magician. The reason we're playing the Pendulum Magician in as well is because it's a level 4 engine that lets us make rank 4s, and there's a specific thing in this deck that you need a rank 4 for, so that's kind of like the reason why we're playing the Magician engine. But we play triple Harmonizing Magician because she's literally just the best Pendulum Magician ever made, being able to special summon any Pendulum Magician from the deck, giving you access to Synchro plays, Xyz plays, anything along those lines, and even giving you an extra monster to go even further beyond. We're also playing 2 Purple Poison and 1 Black Fang Magician. You only need to be playing this ratio, really, because this is like just an engine. You're not playing a full Pendulum Magician deck, so this ratio is fine. You just, like, literally you have 3 Harmonizing Magician, so you always have 3 targets, and then you also play 1 target for each Harmonizing Magician. And I feel like the one Black Fang, because you're going to play Pendulum Caller's Course as well. 1 Black Fang and 1 Harmonizing Magician, and the 3 Harmonizing Magician kind of lay themselves out. And the reason, like, we're playing the 2 Purple Poison is because it's the best Pendulum Magician, one of the best Pendulum Magicians, because it just destroys the face of the card. But it also gives you the ability to, basically, we're playing 4 high scales and 2 low scales, because like these are the high scales we want to summon. These are the ones we actually want to place in the pendulum zones. So that's kind of like the reasons why we're playing that ratio on magicians, on the Pendulum Magicians. We're also just playing the Chronograph engine because it's just a really solid engine to get a free special summon from the deck and accumulate more spell counters, which is really, really nice. We're playing triple Magical Abductor. The reason for Magical Abductor is very simple. It says search any pendulum monster from the deck, and this card is absolutely insane because it gives us access to any of our monsters in our pendulum monsters. So you say you need a Chronograph, you can get a Chronograph. Say you need the Harmonized Magician, get that additional monster, you can get that. Say you want the Jackal King for a negate, you can get the negate. Say you want the Mighty Master of Magic, you can get Mighty Master of Magic. Like, this literally says I'm going to get anything. Hey, say you want to get 7 of Endymion, well, now you can get 7 of Endymion. It essentially says you can search any option in your deck, and that is absolutely insane. Plus spell counters is what this deck is kind of focused on very heavily. So her accumulating more spell counters kind of gives the deck more ratio to do more things. But yeah, we're also playing triple Magician Souls. Honestly, the card you're normally sending with this 9 times out of 10 is going to be a Master Cerberus because it's the most useless one in the deck in terms of summoning. But you want to be playing triple of this because it says it's a spellcaster. It can give you more draws, getting rid of those dead spell cards in your hand that you don't really need to be able to play the game even further, which is really nice. And also it's just this free summon from the hand, allowing you to get into your spellbook engine a lot easier. So being a free summon, being a way to get into your engines a lot easier and giving you more draws is just really insane in this deck. So free Magician Souls, I would say, is definitely something you should consider playing. Like, you don't need it, you could easily change it out for anything, but it's the fact that it's a spellcaster that makes it really strong. Other stuff, we're playing 1 Spellbook of Prophecy because we're playing a Spellbook engine. Then stuff for Union Carrier, 1 Apex Avian, 1 Mist Valley Thunderbird, and 1 Destruction Sword. Now, you can consistently get either of these off in these deck. In this deck. So basically, these 3 cards, you never want to draw these 2, but if you do, it's not the end of the world because Union Carrier says you can equip from hand. But pretty much, these are the cards that will make the deck even more degenerate, and that's kind of what I found out in the game. Seeing as this will just give you the access to look out your opponent's extra deck, and also this will say, you activate an effect. Oh, cool. Negate. Oh, special summon. Oh, you activate another effect. Oh, cool. Negate. Oh, you activate another effect. Negate. 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 Like you can infinite negate in this deck, and it's not even that hard because all you really need to do is make the Samorg link and also a Union Carrier, which is very easy in this deck because all you need to do that is literally 2 level 4s and 3 other monsters. That's all you need in this deck to actually successfully be able to do that. And with how consistent the deck is and how much searching in the deck there is, it's not even hard. And even if you can't get to that, even if you can't get to these two, then you can still go ahead and make the the Destruction Sword to be able to out your opponent's extra deck entirely. So, and with a couple of negates as well. So, honestly, Union Carrier makes Pendulums even more busted. And I've been testing them, and I can consistently do any of these. Honestly, it's so easy to pull off in this deck, it's unreal, and I've been just testing constantly, seeing more and more ways to do it, and oh my god, it's not even hard. It's just not even hard. But yeah, those are the monsters. Let's go ahead and go into the spells. So for spells, we're playing a ton of draw stuff. So we're playing Triple Desires. If you draw 1, then you've got the Magician's Souls to kind of like ditch 1, so that's fine. But you play Triple Desires because it says draw 2, Triple Aura of Darkness because it says draw 2, 1 Into the Void because it says draw, 1 Upstart Goblin because it says draw, and also you play these because they give spell counters and then just replace themselves and give you more spell counters. And then 2 secrets and 1 knowledge because this engine is just, it's not for searching, it's for drawing. It gets you more spell counters. So, like, we're playing a heavy draw engine in the deck because we want to be able to draw as many cards as we can and get as many spell counters on our monsters as possible. And we're also playing a heavy search engine, so we're playing triple Spellcaster and Mastery, because it says search any Endymion card from the deck, and also gives us the ability to place more spell counters on cards, which is really nice. Also can be discarded off Magician's Souls. Triple Duelist Alliance with triple Pendulum Cool. This is basically because this searches this, so you can always have more access into your Magician engine, which is kind of vital if you want to make the infinite negate, but if you have 2 level 4s, it's kind of sidetracked. So yeah, we play a triple of each of those, just so we can have more access into our Magician engine. Then we play triple Magical Institution, because Mythical Beasts say I get more spell counters on it, while also having access to other things, such as if my opponent, such as if I have more spell counters on the board, which is kind of like why we're playing so many spells, we can search any Pendulum monster from our deck that says, oh, I can put a spell counter on you, cool, I can search you. So you can search Magical Abductor, Master Cerberus, Mighty Master of Magic, any of those, Magician Servant, any of those, and that's really, really good. We also play 1 Terraforming, because it searches field spells, and the 2 field spells that go along with it will be your Mighty Magical Citadel of Endymion, because of more spell counters, of course, and then Secret Village of the Spellcasters. The reason why we're playing Secret Village is because I wanted 2 field spells for the 1 terraforming, because 1 terraforming and 2 field spells I just feel like is the correct ratio in this deck, and also like these are just the 2 best ones in my opinion. Like this one says, oh, I can get infinite amount of spell counters on it, and this one says, oh, I can lock my opponent out of their spell cards. So just more ways to floodgate the opponent in this deck, which is very easily. And the last spell in the deck that isn't to do with searching or to do with drawing is actually reasoning. Now, the reason we are playing reasoning is, and let me reason with you here, is because we're playing tons of different levels. Like, we're playing level 7s, we're playing level 3s, we're playing level 8s, we're playing level 6s, we're playing level 4s, we're playing level 3, we're playing more level 4s, we're playing level 1s. Like, we're even playing level 2s in the form of Prophecy. Like, we're playing so many different levels in the deck, and this just being a free summon on the board is just insane. Like literally, even if they call correctly, they say 4, we hit a 4, they call 7, then we hit a 7. That's fine, purely because of the fact that we got that additional spell counter as well. So I'm playing this for 2 reasons. 1, it gives us more spell counters, and 2, it's another spellcaster on the board to get into our spellbook engine, which is absolutely insane. So reasoning is just really strong in the deck, and it doesn't matter if they call wrong, because I just get spell counters and I look at my opponent and be like, hey, thanks, you may have called right, but I get more spell counters. So, yeah. That's the main deck. Like, honestly, guys, I've been testing this main deck thoroughly, and I've been really happy with it. It's so consistent in testing, and there will be a hand testing video for combos and stuff. But yeah, that's the main deck. Let's go ahead and get into the extra deck now, though. So, for extra deck, we're playing 1 IP Masquerena, being a generic Link monster that can just go into anything during our opponent's turn, can be really nice. 1 Crowley for the whole spellbook engine. It's the main Link monster you're going to be making, because if you haven't banished or drawn any of your spellbook cards, then this just gives you more spell counter access by revealing 3 from the deck, searching any of them, and then being able to use them. 1 Union Carrier for our degenerate plays with the Thunderbird and the Mist Valley Thunderbird, and the Buster Whelp. 1 Daybreaker, because this card actually comes up at times where you literally just remove 2, you can Pendulum summon into a zones, remove 2 spell counters from it, and then target a card on the field and destroy it. It does come up, and it really is helpful when I do that, so we're playing 1. 1 Celine, Queen of the Master of Magicians. We're playing 1 of her because she's very useful in the fact that, I have like 18 spell cards in the graveyard. I now gain 18 spell counters. Pretty good. In that fact, and also for the fact that she has 3 down pointing arrows and can literally remove 3 to special summon a spellcaster from the graveyard or hand. So she's just like, I'm going to get 3 special summons. I'm also going to get 3 spell counters, and she also protects herself if I control an Endymion. There's no downsides to this card, and she's very strong in that regard as well, so we play 1 of her. Also, she can be free Appaloosa at times, which is nice. Like, just go into Appaloosa without any issue. Need that extra monster? Well, now you can. 1 Unicorn for when we make the IP play, so we can actually compose stuff into the deck. 1 Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty. You play this with the basically, what you do for the Infinite Negate combo is that you make this, then you make the Union Carrier, and then you just summon the Apex during the end phase with the Thunderbird equipped to the 8 with the Simorgh. So it's pretty easy, because during the end phase you special summon 1 Winged Beast from your hand or deck. Like, it's insane. Like, it just says, I'm going to special summon Thunderbird from the deck. Like, there's no downsides. 1 Appaloosa for just, if we don't want to make the Infinite Negate combo, then we go ahead and make Appaloosa, so we can, guarantee that we, don't need to make it. Also, we can make Appaloosa instead of this if we actually draw the, Apex Avian. So, yeah. If we draw it, it's good. 1 Unchained Abomination, because, I've destroyed that card, so I'm going to destroy that card. It's the end phase, so I'm going to destroy that card. Just extra destruction is always nice, and this just gives you that additional destruction. 1 Borosaur Dragon for OTKs, because we're going to OTK our opponent to death very easily. For rank 4s, we play 1 Abyss Dweller, because Graveyard is still very prevalent in the game, and this card says no. 1 Exciton for board wipes, so we can just wipe our opponent's stuff. 1 Castel, because Castel is actually really needed in this deck, because to make this, you need a Winged Beast, and the reason you need 2 level 4s is because Castel is the Winged Beast that you're going to make. So, to be able to successfully do this, you need this. And I was going through, when I was making this deck, I was going through, what Winged Beasts, like rank 4s, can I make? And we can only make this because of this exists. And that's why, when I found out, that's actually really dumb, how Castel is a very good rank 4 in its own right, being able to shuffle any card on the face-up card on the board into the deck, and also be like a Book of Moon, in a sense. But the reason we play Castel, main reason, is because of this, and also because going second, we can just say, I'm going to remove something on your board, which is kind of nice. But yeah, so you need to be playing Castel to actually successfully do the Infinite Negate combo with Bird of Sovereignty, because he's the Winged Beast that you're going to make to go into the Bird of Sovereignty. So yeah. We're also playing one Babushka because he's a nice floodgate monster. If your opponent's playing that kind of deck, then you just make Babushka, look at them and say, oh, you can't play the game. And finally, we make one Boros Savage, which is there for when we go into the Buster Whelp choice to look at our opponent's extra deck, because Boros Savage is like, oh, sick, I'm a Dark Dragon. I meet the requirements for Union Carrier's busted effect to equip any monster of the same type or attribute from the deck. So, yeah, we want to play one Boros Savage because he's just the additional negate, and he's the one we put on this, with this, for Buster Whelp. But yeah, so that is the deck profile, guys. Like, honestly, I've been testing this deck thoroughly, constantly, and I've been really, really enjoying it. There's a lot of degenerate stuff that the deck can do. Like, it's just because this exists, like, because this single card exists, the deck is just even better, being able to have access to an extra deck lock, being able to have access to spell lock, well, not spell lock as easily as before, but have access to extra deck lock, have access to the infinite negate, and all thanks to Castel existing and Samorg making it easy, because all you really need is 5 monsters, with 2 of them being a level 4, so, yeah. I have been testing this deck. It is very consistent. Well, no, 6 monsters, sorry. You need 6, because you make the Castel, which is 2, then you make that. Yeah, 6 monsters. But that's not hard in this deck. You can do it very easily. I've been testing it constantly, and it's not hard. But guys, thank you so much for watching. This deck is absolutely insane. I've been testing it. I've been loving it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video and realize how dumb this deck actually is, and I hope you start testing it for yourselves. There will be a hand testing video, so please keep your eyes out for that, because there is a lot of routes you can take with pendulums, and I want to kind of show that in a hand testing video. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Show your support in the comment section below. Press the like button. If you want to support me through any means, then there is a link down below to go and support me. If you want to check out the streams, I stream on Twitch Tuesdays. My streaming schedule is a little on the rack right now, though, due to all of this stuff, me having other things that I want to kind of finish, and along those lines, but I will always bring out videos for you guys, so please keep an eye out for those. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one with whatever deck profile, discussion video, opening, whatever I do next. Robert Bat1, signing out, later all.